everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jennifer. And today we're going to be doing some revisits of some luxury items that I picked up recently. They're items that I haven't had a chance to really do a lot of looks with or get an in-depth review to all of you, so we're going to revisit those. We're also going to do some new products. We've got the NARS cheek palette that just came out. I have the new Perla lipstick, which we're going to try. And I'm going to show you a few little sneak peeks about what I'm going to be putting up on my Patreon page. So if you're interested in seeing that, just stay tuned. Hey everybody! So let me start with pulling my hair back. So I thought today we could go through a couple of products, as I mentioned in my intro, that I really didn't give a lot of time to in the videos that I've already done. We've had so many new releases lately that I feel like I do a review of a new release and I tell you my thoughts and I go through, and then I never really have a chance to go over it again because there's more stuff coming out. And of course, I totally understand everyone wants to see the new stuff and it's holiday right around the corner. But I also think there are some products out there that they're either comprehensive enough, as in like there's a lot to them, that I want to do another look with them, or that I just didn't get a chance to show you like both types of products, and I'll explain what I mean in a minute. Then I have some new things. The NARS cheek palette, Perla lipstick, a couple other things. I want to show you some sneak peeks. There's just a lot coming fast and furious. So I thought what we'd start with is the foundation that I'm wearing. So this is the Cicely anti-aging foundation. I mentioned this foundation when I did my Cicely haul, and I'm going to have an update about the Cicely skincare very soon. That wasn't that long ago. I started at the beginning of August. It's now October, so it's been 2 months. I do feel like I really like the Cicely products. I will be doing a review of that, but I always like to give it like 3 months before I really say anything. But just spoiler alert, I think the products are excellent. But anyway, one of the things though that I didn't mention really since then was that this foundation has been a favorite of mine for a long time. And I mentioned in that video, I could never quite find the right shade. It was a little tricky. The shade range still isn't great, but it's better than it was. And this shade, which is vanilla, yes, vanilla, is perfect for me. It literally is just the perfect shade. It is gorgeous on the skin. I highly recommend this foundation, especially if you're looking for an anti-aging foundation. It looks seamless. It's light to medium coverage. It's just gorgeous on the skin. It's like I said, it's really, I would have said it was my favorite several years ago if they had the vanilla shade, which they just came up with. It is expensive. It is an expensive foundation, but it's really good. My skin always looks better if I use it consistently. So I'm very, very fond of that, and I just wanted to kind of give Cicely a shout out. Secondly, the Clé de Peau winter collection, holiday collection that I went through. I did not use in that video, not really, the warmer luminizer. I used the cooler one, and this one, which is 102, I didn't use by itself. So what I wanted to do is use this one today by itself so you guys could see it in action. Both of them are beautiful. The packaging is gorgeous. It's more of just a, whatever you guys are interested in color story wise. I also want to pull out again the Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey Celestial something, and do some of the green shades in here. I won't do a complicated look today. We'll keep it kind of brief. But that palette, I have to tell you, is like one of my favorite palettes. The NARS Climax is, I don't want to give anything away, but the NARS Climax is ranking up there towards like the best item I've bought this year. But this palette is really nice, really beautiful, really versatile, and you can just do so many different looks with it. So I did a warm and a cool look when I did the video, but I want to branch out and do just a little bit more with that. The Perla lipstick, I don't know much about. I know Perla as a brand. I don't know much about the makeup, the lipstick. We're going to see what it's like. I bought it in nude red. It is a matte silk lipstick, which is why I bought it, because I don't like mattes. But I do like some of the new matte formulas that are considered like sheer mattes. So a matte silk I thought might have a chance at being decent. So what I thought we'd do first is let's swatch the NARS palette. So this is the High Profile Cheek Palette. There's Nude Review, Spin-Off, High Demand, Hit It Off, Showdown, sorry, and Just Lust. And those are the shades. I do plan to pick up some of the other items that are in this collection. I haven't yet because I feel like, again, there's so many collections. The Suku collection, the Dior collection, the Chanel collection, Hermes is coming, all kinds of things. And on that note, just to give you guys a very, very quick sneak peek when I say Hermes is coming, I just want to mention that I will have pictures and swatches over on my Patreon page and a video coming up. I have another product too that I need to do. There's a bunch that's actually headed over there pretty soon. All right, so let's watch the NARS palette and let's start with the Nude Review. So on the website, it basically said that you could use these for like highlight, contour, and a pop of color. I think because of my coloring and how pale I am, I'm gonna guess I can't really use any of these things other than blush. Like, I think this shade will be too deep for me for highlighter. This shade would be too like orangey for like a, you know, bronzer or highlight. Bronzer or contour. And then the rest are, in my opinion, blushes. So I see this as just a blush palette. But, you know, it's going to be very different for someone who has a different skin tone. I think other people can use this as more of a highlight, where that's not going to really work for me. They're very creamy. They seem, you know, like good quality. I mentioned in my blush video, I like the NARS blushes. They're good blushes. You know, I guess I don't reach for them as much because other brands have sort of overtaken the NARS spot, if you will. But these all look beautiful. This one, the last one, which is, what shade is that? Just Lust, is a little bit more shimmery. This one, of course, is very shimmery. That one is Nude Review. The rest look more satiny than anything else. I wouldn't say matte, but I would say more of a satin. They're all beautiful shades. I think they'll work extremely well on me and my skin tone. I think these are pretty pigmented, so you could definitely go up to a deeper skin tone on these, but I, you know, don't know how well it's going to work across the board. All right, so let's use the luminizer first so you can see how that looks on me. Let me grab a brush. I'm going to use something a little denser, stiffer than some of my really soft brushes. Let me bring you in a little closer. Not super stiff or anything. This is a Refer 04 brush. It's a beautiful brush. It's not like it's a bad brush. I just mean it's not as soft as like my KZ Chikuhodo brushes. Those are extremely soft. Because I do want to actually pick up a little bit more of this today so you guys can get a better look at it. And like I said, I do have on my foundation. So on my skin tone, it looks like it, you know, what it does is it kind of blends with my skin tone because it has almost an almond with a little bit of coolness, a little bit of like purple almost, sparkle. In my mind, this one is more sparkly than the other one. The other one is like very shimmery and whiter. This one has more sparkle and is more like an almond color. All right, so let's go to the blush, and let me grab the classic cheek brush from Sonia G, this brush, and let's do two shades today. Let's use a lighter shade to start, and then we can like sort of almost contour a little bit. with like one of these shades. All right, so let's go in with, is it Showdown? I think it's Showdown. This one here. Yeah, Showdown. Okay, I'm right. All right, let's go with Showdown. This is a little bit more, a lighter shade, a little bit more apricot. It actually looks really nice over that luminizer. And that luminizer, by the way, the number on that, just so I have it right, it's 102, A Glow with Wonder. So now let's take a shade that has more of a brownie pink. Let's say, I think this is this one, which is High Demand. And let's see if we can kind of use it almost a little bit like a contour. I'm going to go very, very lightly with it. And then when I use bronzer, I'll, you know, go over it. But you can see how lightly I'm doing this. This is a little bit denser of a brush than the KZ brushes. Yeah, but it's definitely pigmented. So you can see it's a really pretty shade. It's got more of that pinky brown in it. But with the luminizer underneath, I think it gives a really pretty glow. Yeah, this is a really pretty palette. I mean, to me, it's a cheek palette. Like I said, this shade here, which is a very shimmery gold shade, I don't think that's really gonna work on me. We can try a little bit of it over, but I think it's just gonna be like too gold. If I go very lightly, I can kind of dust it. But for me and my coloring, that's not like really the best shade. For somebody with a warmer skin tone, I think that's gonna be really nice, but I can do a little bit of it. Yeah, I've actually been really impressed with the NARS products, starting with the Climax eyeshadow palette and the Climax mascara. I've really, really liked both of those. And I plan on picking up the eyeshadow palette that's part of this holiday collection and maybe one of the mini eyeshadows. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think I should pick up, what you're interested in having me try. And I will grab those. Okay, let me put on a little bit of bronzer and buff this in, and then we'll go to the eyeshadow palette. All buffed in, a little bit of bronzer on. I just used some Tom Ford Terra bronzer, so, you know, nothing new, in fact, very, very old. So I did do a full review of this palette, and I did all the swatches and everything, but I mentioned in that video that I felt because there's 18 shades in there, I couldn't really do it justice, even with, you know, one look on one eye and one look on another. So one of the things that everyone asked me about, of course, was the green and the blue shades. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use those shades and we're going to go ahead and create a look. I'm not going to do anything. I know I say this all the time. We're not going to do anything complicated today. I promise. This one's going to be easy. Okay. Super simple. Hourglass number 6. I know I say that all the time. Okay. So we're going to take a matte shade. Since we're going to go with the greens, let's use a brown. Let's use what I think, what shade is that? Lotus Luxe. So hard to tell with these palettes because they're so big. No, not Lotus Luxe. Sunrose Amber, I think, is the shade, which is this one right here. It's like a brownie matte. There's 4 mattes in this. Looks like 4. Pinker shades, browner shades. This one is like kind of an in-between. It's a pretty shade. It's not too dark, because I want something in the transition when we go from the blue and the green that is a little more basic, if you will. Yeah, I've been very impressed with this palette. You know, I'm not sure exactly what about it that I like so much more. Part of it, I think, is the one that came out last year, the last Mega Mothership. It was more pink, you know, more pinks and purples. And I I do like purple, and on occasion I do like pink, but I like these shades just so much more. And I feel like there are so many options in this palette. You can do practically any look you want. I don't think it's going to be particularly hard because these shades all just blend beautifully. And like I said, if you want to do something basic, you can. You can just pick this brown shade, or it's kind of like has a little bit of warm to it. And then pick one other shade and put it all over the lid. It's going to look stunning. So it's not like it has to be a complicated look, but you know, for those of you who are artists with your makeup and you want to do something that's outside, you know, what we would consider like for me anyway, a normal day look, you could do this so easily. There's so many beautiful shades in here. I haven't even gotten to the black shifting shade, which I'm gonna try to use today. I'm not exactly sure how well that's gonna go because this just might be too much, but we'll see. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take that, I think it's cyan. I think that's what she called it. Is it Nirvana? Yes, it's Nirvana. And I think she called it a cyan shade. And I want a very tiny brush, a very small brush. And I'm gonna take that shade and we're just gonna place it. Yeah, it's stunning. Now remember, I don't have any I don't have a wand. I don't have any glitter glue. I'm just using the shade itself. And it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous color. It's this, if you don't really know, cyan, it's like a bluish green. This one has a tremendous amount of sparkle to it. Yeah, it's just beautiful. And I'm just kind of edging it a little above the natural crease of my eye, but not by much. So you can just kind of, if I look straight ahead, you can still see the green above the crease. And we're gonna buff this in when we get there, but for the moment, okay. So that's the outer half. Now I'm gonna take that bright green shade and we're gonna put that on. Wow, that's sparkly. Okay. Such a beautiful, oh my goodness. I mean, just beautiful shades. Absolutely stunning. And I'm gonna put it almost all the way into the corner, but I'm gonna use the gold shade a little bit in the corner. So we'll just leave a little space for that because when I blend it, I want to kind of blend it into the green. I'm sure the camera's not doing that justice because it's amazing. Okay, so we're gonna take the gold shade, pop it right in here. And like I said, this is not complicated. All I'm doing is a gradation of color. I put the bluer cyan color on the outside, the green in the middle, and the gold in the inner corner. And then I'm just gonna blend it. I'm telling you, anyone out there can do this. This is not hard. Okay, so I'm gonna take the Wayne Goss 03. You just need the right brushes. You need small brushes that can be, you know, can get into the area because otherwise you will kind of make a mess. Okay, so I'm just gonna go back and forth lightly with this brush in the crease. And then like on the outside, kind of roll it. So back and forth. And then like that, okay? Do the same thing on this side. It's kind of like a peacock, which is what I was kind of going for. Wow. That is beautiful. These shades are just stunning. Okay, I don't even know if the camera can pick this up, but hopefully. Just so pretty. All right, so we're gonna take a little bit of that black because it has this green blue shift in it. And I'm going to be very careful with it because, like I said, I think it's stronger than I think it is. And we're just going to put it out here on the edge of the eye, like just to add a little bit of depth. And then I'll bring it a little bit into the crease, but not a lot. Because like I said, it's an intense shade. And I don't want it to overtake everything else. All right, let me buff that in really quick. Go lightly, because I don't want to get rid of it. I just want to smooth it. Oh yeah, that's so pretty. Just doing some more blending. Let me bring you in close before I put anything on the lash line so you can see it better. Okay, now you're in a little bit closer. You can see the shades in here are just, I mean, they're stunning. Okay, there's definitely a little bit of glitter on my face, but I have to say, I mean, I think a lot of it actually comes from that black shade, but it's totally worth it. I mean, it's so beautiful. These shades, to me, I love these greenish bluish shades, and that with that little gold, just a little bit in the corner, it does kind of like, I don't know, it kind of looks like a little bit like a peacock, but I really love the look. Okay, so let's take a little bit of that, the cyan, and run it under the lower lash line. It's a beautiful shade. It has just so much sparkle. I mean, it's stunning. And let's take that black sparkly shade and let me see if I can run a little bit without getting too much glitter all over my face. Let's put some mascara on and I'll be right back. All right, we're back with mascara on, and I use the Jones Road mascara today. I have to say another update on products that I've been using that I really like. The Jones Road mascara is one of my favorite mascaras of all time. That and the Upswing mascara have been the ones that I've been using pretty much exclusively for the last couple months. I use the Chantecaille. I use Chantecaille like for 2 weeks out of every month, like consistently, and I have for a long time. But of new mascaras, these are my favorite. And the Jones Road mascara is absolutely worth it, in my opinion. So I think we can all agree that this Pat McGrath palette is stunning. I mean, the shades, the shades. So yeah, I absolutely love it, and I'm so glad I picked it up because I think it's my favorite of all the Pat McGrath palettes, and that's saying a lot because I have all her motherships and I have her quads, and I really do love a lot of Pat McGrath, but I think this is my favorite. I mean, time will tell, and I did order her new quads, and I have to pull out the old quads to kind of compare, but I have to say I'm very impressed. Okay, La Perla lipstick before we go. So this I picked up, I think I picked it up at Nordstrom, yeah. And this is in 101 Nude Red, which kind of reminds me a little bit of the La Bouche Rouge Nude Red. And when they say like nude red, to me it actually looks like a, I don't know, like a neutral. It doesn't really look too red to me. I'm turning the bullet because you'll see it is embossed all the way around. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so the shade, let's see what the shade is like. Oh, it's very pretty. Yeah, I wouldn't call it red. I'd call it a mauve-y neutral. A little bit of red. I guess nude red. It's not a terrible way to explain it. All right, so let's put it on the lips and see what we think. It has a scent. I like the scent though. It smells like cake, maybe vanilla. It's pretty smooth. It's not too matte, which, you know, is good because I don't like a matte lipstick. Yeah, it feels nice. Like I said, it smells nice. I think it's like vanilla. I think that's what I would say. The bullet itself is fairly simple. It's got a gold cap and it's magnetic. The bottom is like red and it's like ribbed almost. You can see that. Simple, but nice. It's got some heft to it. It's got the LP at the top of the bullet. Let's see what it says on the bottom. 101 matte silk lipstick in nude red. 18 months. That's a long time. Yeah, that's about it. But I do like it. I do think it feels nice. I don't know if I would call this a nude red. To me, I see more like a pink, but the shade is actually nice on me. I actually like the shade. I think it's a good neutral, a good nude. You know, maybe like I don't have a liner on. I do like the shade actually. For me, I think it's nice. It's kind of a brownie pink. Don't you think? I mean, I don't know. Get your thoughts. I like it. Like I said, I think it's a good neutral. For me, it's a good nude, but I wouldn't call it nude red. Well, I'll have to wear it for a while and see what I think. I do really like the formula though. It's matte, it's got full coverage, but it's not, it is silky. Like it says silk matte, it does feel silky, which is nice. Yeah, I'll have to tell you what I think of it, but so far, so good. Quick recap, the NARS, I'm calling it a blush palette. I think it's really pretty. The shades are beautiful and I really am liking the NARS formula. I'm going to pick up more of the collection. Let me know what you're interested in. The Luminizer by Clé de Peau, the 102, it's the warmer of the two. It has more of a subtle but sparkly glow to it. I love those luminizers. I've said that for a while. This eyeshadow palette, I think I've gone on enough about it. Absolutely love it. The La Perla lipstick, I think it's good. I'm not wowed by the formula, but I think it's good. And we'll have to see how it wears if it gets really dry on my lip. The shade, I'm not so sure about the shade. Not because I don't like the shade, I do, but to me it's not a nude red. I've got a bunch of things coming up, as I've alluded to, for holiday. There's lots of things coming in fast and furious, and I'll be doing new videos on those. Check out my Patreon page for the things that aren't technically released yet. I showed you the sneak peek of the highlighter, and then I have another highlighter, which is actually a little bit broken. Unfortunately, it came a little bit dismantled, but this is from Bobbi Brown, and I will have that over on Patreon soon as well. Let's see, is there anything else that I'm missing today? Oh, and the Sisley foundation. The Sisley foundation is awesome. Jones Road mascara is great. Loving all of those things and continually using them. All right, I think that's it for today, guys. If I was just gonna say like the one thing to pick up, in all honesty, is this Pat McGrath palette. I absolutely love it. I think it's really worth it. You know, pick it up during a sale if you don't want to invest in it right now. I totally get that, but it really is an excellent palette. Love it, love it, love it. All right, I think that's it, guys. Thanks so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Hope to see you in another video really soon.